you won't be surprised to learn it truly was like female Jesus showed up. Female Jesus walked onto the set. And keep in mind, this is ABC, which already treated her like female Jesus at that ABC News debate. And I use the term ABC News loosely. Watch the walkout. It looked more like Elvis showing up at a concert than this did like an organization that is supposed to be a news organization hosting a presidential candidate.
Welcome back. The next president of the United States.
Wow. Oh my God. It was worse than Oprah. For the listening audience, that was Whoopi Goldberg, who balled her little hands into fists. Oh, the next president. Oh. Could you just try to grow up a little, like try to act like an adult person, like a professional? It would be great. I mean, I guess you just, whatever, there are no illusions anymore. And as I've told you before, been on The View many times, they give you the questions in advance. 100%, I guarantee they gave Kamala Harris and or her team, this is my opinion based on my own experience, a little blue card with all the questions on it. That's what they did with me every single time. And I said, I don't need the damn questions. I do this for a living. I'm good. There's zero chance, in my opinion, they did not give her the questions in advance. So they gave her this hero's welcome. And then here's Sunny Hostin asking about the differences between Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. And my prediction is this is going to be made into a campaign ad for Trump within the next hour, this answer. Watch.
What do you think would be the biggest specific difference between your presidency and a Biden presidency?
Well, we're obviously two different people, and we have a lot of shared life experiences. For example, the way we feel about our family and our parents and so on. But we're also different people, and I will bring those sensibilities to how I lead.
Well, if anything, would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
Sunny's reading off of her cards.
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
I guarantee you that's being made into an ad right now. It might hit before we close out the show within an hour. We'll keep checking. There's no chance Trump's not going to pick the second half of that answer, pin it, and end it with what he's been doing, which is, I'm Donald Trump and I approve this message. That's her owning all the Biden policies on a day in which the new New York Times Siena poll drops with good news for Harris, showing among likely voters nationally, she's now up 3 points over Donald Trump. The margin of error, is it 2.4? That's how it appears based on my note in front of me. In any event, it's either outside the margin of error or it's pretty close. And the reason that she's now up over Trump, they were tied in mid-September. Early September, Trump was up 1 over her. Now he's down 3. So that's not great for Trump. They say the reason is more voters are saying Kamala Harris is the candidate representing change in this election, 46 to 44. In previous Times Siena polls, Trump was identified as the candidate of change. And what does she say? What does she say when she gets out there? We're the same. First, the inane, well, we're different people. It sounds like a Chris Farley skit. How are you different? Well, first of all, we're different people. He's a man and I'm a woman. He's a white man and I'm a black lady. Half Indian, half... I mean, like, how dumb, right? She's just trying to stall because she realizes she's on quicksand, and then she fails. You know, Sunny has to follow up because she's got her little blue card right in front of her. I've seen them a million times. Her questions are written for her. And so she asks the follow-up question, but like, if you had to say. And she goes with kind of nothing. We're the same. Good luck spinning that, because this poll shows us that the people want difference. They want change. They do not want 4 more years of Joe Biden. All right, joining me now to discuss these and other news stories today are Evita Duffy Alfonso, host of the Bongino Report Early Edition with Evita, and Link Lauren, TikTok influencer and former senior advisor to RFKJ. Guys, thanks so much for being here. Link, I found your profile so interesting. So you wound up working for RFK because you understood how to leverage his message with the power of TikTok, and you did so well with it. He was like, I need this guy working for me. And a blessed union was formed, and you really helped him reach a lot of young people with his message. You proved to be absolutely critical in getting his thoughts out there.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Fascinating background. So you're both on the younger side and both accomplished given your ages. And so you tell me whether young people who in particular want change are going to be persuaded by, well, we're different people, but I pretty much agreed with him on everything he did. I'll start with you on it, Evita.
No, I don't think it's going to work well for anyone, especially young people. I mean, young people, especially, the polling is showing they want change. It's not working for them. They can't afford their groceries. They can't buy a home. A lot of them are really animated by what's happening in the Middle East. There's a lot of pro-Palestine young people, and they associate Kamala with the Biden administration, which they were calling Joe Biden Genocide Joe just a couple months ago. So this is really terrible messaging for her. And I think that it exemplifies how inept she is, because her entire, first of all, the entire media apparatus, but also her team, including Doug Emhoff, have been trying really hard to say Kamala is not the same as Biden. This administration does not define her. She's her own person. And then she just goes on The View and dismantles the entire narrative that they've been trying to create for her in a really spectacular, failing way.
It was pretty extraordinary to hear her say that, because Link, that this is going to come back to haunt her. She's been trying to dodge that bullet. And the irony of it being from friendly fire, right? Sonny Hostin, who has been advocating for Kamala Harris for a long time, well before Biden even dropped out.
No, totally. Kamala Harris, for the last few months, since July 21st, she's been going out on stage and acting like she's never met Joe Biden. She's like, my first day in office, when I get into office, it's like, sweetheart, you've been there 1,400 days. And then we ask her to do some hardball interviews. She goes on The View. Does nobody remember Ana Navarro was one of the MCs of the Democratic National Convention this year? Ana Navarro, she's not going to ask her hardball questions. Sonny Hostin, she's not going to ask Kamala Harris hardball questions. If you can't handle hardball interviews, how are you going to take on Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un, President Xi? You think these guys in the Middle East have any respect for women? Kamala, you've got a bad thing coming if you can't handle a hardball interview.
That quote is going to be everywhere. I mean, you heard it here. 100%. He's going to make the most of that. And this, especially given that New York Times poll, which is not great. I mean, any thoughts as somebody who just came off of a campaign link on what drove Trump from being 1 point up to now 3 points down in this New York Times Siena poll since mid-September? So we're basically talking 3 weeks.
Totally. So I'd have to look at some of the crosstabs of the poll. I know that Kamala Harris is outraising and outspending Donald Trump, so maybe she's doing a lot more spending in these swing states. I think also Donald Trump is missing some key cohorts, right? I've been sounding this alarm for months. If you go to the Women for Trump page, there's not a single event for Donald Trump, right? So they've really doubled and tripled down on low propensity young male voters, which is great. Love them. But you need to be doing more outreach to women in swing states, suburban women in swing states. And the fact of the matter is people aren't between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. They're between, am I going to vote at all? Or am I going to just stay home because I don't like either option? And Trump really isn't doing enough outreach to those groups. He's doubling down on his base and young men, but where are some of these women who are on the edge? Maybe some of the women in the primary who are leaning toward Nikki Haley, now they don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So my team did confirm the margin of error of this poll is 2.4%. So that would put her outside the margin of error. Being able to run your business on your schedule is not just a luxury, it's a necessity. If mailing items like legal documents, checks, or marketing materials takes up a lot of your time, Stamps.com is the time saver you need. Cut down hours spent mailing and shipping with Stamps.com and do it all on your own timeline. From small businesses to multi-location organizations, Stamps.com handles all your mailing and shipping needs wherever, whenever. Take care of mailing and shipping wherever you are, even on the go, with the Stamps.com address. All you need is a computer and a printer. That's all you need. They even send you a free scale. Easily schedule package pickups through your Stamps.com dashboard and automatically see the cheapest and fastest shipping options from different carriers. Get rates you can't find anywhere else, like up to 89% off USPS, and UPS. Order supplies and even printers from the supply store when you run low. Sign up at Stamps.com and enter code MK for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a free digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. That's Stamps.com, code MK. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.